Hello, beautiful souls. How are you? I am Valeria Maritza here at Healing Through You. I came in early. I know I keep changing the time. This is my live about how does ancestral baggage show up in your present life, right? And I had scheduled it for 11. Then I moved it to 1. Then I realized that shaman things happening at 1 o'clock that I want to attend. I posted it earlier, a couple of days earlier, for anyone else who wants to join, and that's happening at 1. I forgot about it, so I had to switch it back to 11. And now I just realized I have to go somewhere, and I'm like, okay, let me just do it now because the energy is really flowing through me, and it's really, really strong that this message needs to come out. So here I go. By the way, if you're here, say hi. Write in the comments so that I can tune into your energy and say hello to you on this beautiful Sunday morning. Okay, so how does your ancestral baggage show up in your present life, right? How does it show up? It's when we have fears, anger, anxiety that you cannot explain, or, or that we feel that it's socially correct to have it, right? Okay, so I'm going to explain this like really, 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 really simple. You are a divine being of light. You are created in divine, pure love energy. You came into this world, this three-dimensional earth, to experience life in a three-dimensional body. Right? And so you are an infinite being of light experiencing life right now in your three-dimensional body. This means that you have been here before. You have been here on this earth experiencing life, taking so many different roles, right? You were all sexes, all ages, you were good, you were bad, you experienced pretty much everything, right? You've been experiencing so many things. This is where you can find information from your past, from the Akashic Records, when you have an Akashic Records reading, and you can tune into what parts of your past lives, the parts that you've been here before, are still with you, that you're still carrying that baggage or that wound from the past. So this is where there's like a lot of Akashic Records healings that a lot of people do, such as myself and many others as well. So, hi Nicolette, how are you? Thank you for being here. Okay, so if you have, okay, I'm just going to go into explain with my experience, okay? When I was little, you guys know I'm from Chile. I was born in Chile, and Chile is in South America, and to the right of it is Argentina. And I remember being small and hearing adults talking about how they, quote unquote, hated Argentinians because they would come over to our side and fill the beaches during the summer and didn't leave any space for us, the Chileans. And I don't know, all kinds of things that they were like against them, right? And I remember going through the beach and watching these people, these foreigners back then, and not finding anything different about them from me, right? Except that they had a different accent, they spoke a little bit different. But I couldn't understand this feeling of dislike for an entire people. And now that I'm here, it's like for the fear of not having enough, right? Like, oh, they're coming here, taking over our space at the beach, right? There's not enough beach, right? The entire coast of Chile is at the beach, right? Okay, so that's the scarcity mentality. It's not enough for me, and therefore I must hate them or not like them because blah, blah, blah. This story has been repeating itself over and over and over and over and over, not just there, but all over the world, right? Every time there's someone who comes to a country seeking asylum, seeking help because it's more opportunity there, because they feel afraid in their own country, and they arrive somewhere else, and this is everywhere, this is not just in the United States, the foreigners are seen as a burden. They're here to take up our space. They're here to take our jobs, right? All of these things. Where's this mentality coming from? It's coming from scarcity. There isn't enough. Someone's going to come and take my place, my money, my job, right? The universe is abundant. There is abundance for everyone in the entire planet. And once you understand that there is enough for everyone, and you begin to see life in this different light, then all of those fears go away. But here's the other thing. Those fears are fed to us. We're not born thinking that. When I was little and I was going to the beach and seeing the foreigners there, I wasn't thinking that there was anything wrong with them, or that I didn't like them, or that they were taking my space. I didn't think that. That was put into my head by someone else, right? Adults who are carrying this wound from their adults when they were children, right? So you pass on that wound, you pass on that baggage. Imagine this huge sack of heavy rocks that each ancestor gives one to the next generation, and you keep passing it on and passing it on, and then you have no idea why you're feeling upset, or why you hate people, or why you don't like certain situations, people, areas, whatever it is. You don't know why, and the reason you don't know why is because it's not yours. Okay? And so, how does it present in your present life? Is when you see the news and it says, oh, X amount of foreigners are coming into the country, they're taking your jobs. And then I would feel threatened. Oh no, they're coming, they're taking my money, they're taking my job, there's less opportunity for me to receive a job, and I get all of this fear base. It has nothing to do with it. I'm a foreigner, okay? I came to the United States, my parents came here, they both had degrees. When they came here as immigrants, they worked as help for somebody else's home to clean, because they could not get a job in their field because we were illegal, right? The sacrifices that people make when they transfer, or they come from one country to the other, are immense. People don't realize this, right? Because you're leaving your home, your culture, your friends, your language, your degrees, right? You're leaving so much. And so people are not coming over to take things away. They're coming over because something's threatening their lives, in most cases, right? That's why people are moving, right? And they're not taking anything away from you, except that you're being fed by the news, by the media, by, whatever is out there that is still feeding fear that there's something that they're going to take away from you. As opposed to, it's enhancing. When everything works together, everything works so much better, right? I just saw a video, I think it was on TikTok, of this man from, I think it's Long Island. And he said, I lost all of my employees during COVID. Everyone left. And what I did was I put an ad for mothers, specifically mothers, and I said, I'll give you flexible hours, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, my company has gone through the roof. I have such great workers. These mothers are so committed. They get here 4 o'clock. They work until 7. They go home. They take care of the kids. They take the kids to school. They come back. They work until about 2:30, and then they leave to take care of their kids. And they are so efficient. There's no chit chat about, like this and that and wasted time. And like, they're just like working together, right? One person, giving the opportunity to what the other person needs, and everybody is winning. Everybody is working together. So this is how it works, right? And so you have, we always have, okay, religion is number one, right? You were born in sin. I was born Roman Catholic, into the Roman Catholic family. So I was born in sin. And Jesus gave his life to save us. But then it's like this whole thing of like, okay, if he saved us, then why am I bad? Why am I evil? Why was I born in sin? Why am I bad, right? All of these questions arise, right? Which they don't make sense. And why don't they make sense? Because it's not true. Somebody's telling you that, somebody's feeding you this information to make you feel less than, smaller, and scarce, right? And so this is how this information attaches to us from our ancestors. They're being passed on from one generation to the other just by their own beliefs. They're not doing this to hurt us. They're not doing this on purpose, like to be bad or to teach something that is going to hurt you or anyone else. They're doing this because that's all they know. They're doing this because this is what they were taught, and you're being taught the same thing, right? And so you're just passing on that information, thinking that it's correct, right? And what is correct? That's the key, right? What is the right thing? The right thing is what you feel inside. And so when I was a child and I was walking the beach and hearing other people saying bad things about the people who were vacationing there, and it didn't feel right with me and it didn't make sense to me, that's the true, pure, unconditional love and unconditional being that you are. Right? When you have people saying, "Oh, my ancestors, they were slaves," and I'm carrying on that weight of the slavery into the now, right? Or women's oppressions, and I'm carrying on that heaviness of women's oppression, or whatever it is, right? Pick anything socially that was back then, and if you're feeling it now, if you feel anger and you feel this like energy come up for you that you have to say something, you have to fight, and you don't even know why, and you're like, well, it's because I'm standing with them and I need to support them and I don't want anyone to forget that. Yes, you're right? You don't want anyone to forget it. But when you're feeling it in your body and you're acting as you were personally persecuted in that way, that is not yours. That is you taking on your ancestors' burden. And there's nothing further from the truth to what your ancestors want. Your ancestors had a part in this world, right? They went through their life, they went through their struggles, they went through whatever life lessons they came here to learn. And then once they cross over, what happens? They become pure love, unconditional love, non-judgmental love, and they can see everything from the point of view of the Creator's eyes, of God's eyes, right? Like when everything is perfect, everything is beautiful, and we humans here on earth just have this will, right? We have free will to choose what we want to do. So once they've crossed over, as hard as their life might have been here on earth, they don't want to pass that burden onto you. And when they see each generation continuing that feeling of heaviness from what they experienced, they're like, no, that happened already. You are here to go through your experiences, to what you chose. This is not yours. Get rid of it and do your part. Go through your life, living your story, right? And you might say, well, maybe my story is to attach to that ancestral trauma. Maybe that's what I wanted to do, right? It's not. You're choosing to. You're choosing to grab onto that for whatever reason. A lot of times it feels good. It feels like I can relate to the ancestors. I can relate to what they're doing, and I want that type of attention. And that's all ego, guys. That is all ego. So I just had this event that just happened. I met someone from Peru, and I was so excited because in my mind, or from what I had learned, Chileans and Peruvians are neighbors. They've always been happy with each other, like they're friends, right? And that was my perception, right? As me growing up. I don't know much about history from South America because, I was not there when they were teaching that. I came up here. But anyway, that was my perception. So I meet this person and I go, yeah, and I'm coming in with like so much excitement. Oh my gosh, you're from Peru. We're right next door. We're neighbors. We grew up as neighbors, right? Our countries. And it was just like a nice, warm feeling that I had. However, that was not the experience this person had. This person was like, oh yeah, Chile, they took away our land and we've been at war for so many years. And I'm like, what? Like, no. Like, I don't know that. She's like, yeah, that they did this. And she started talking about, she's probably right? I'm like, I'm ignorant in this part of history. But she was telling me this from such a heavy heart, as if I personally had taken away her land. That is ancestral trauma. That right there, ancestral trauma. I had nothing to do with it. I'm seeing her as a beautiful divine being of light, my neighbor, my sister. Like, oh my gosh, come here. Let me give you a hug. I'm so happy to meet you. She has this ancestral trauma that is attached to her, just like when my parents and the adults in my life told me that the Argentinians were bad, that Chileans were not good for the Peruvian people because they had taken away land, they had taken away things, and that they were a war. I had no idea there was ever a war between Chile and Peru. Just truth, right? So I'm like, okay, yes, okay, I'm ignorant. I'm not validating what she thinks and knows and feels, but she was not there. She was not part of the war, the taking of the land, the suffering of having something being taken away. She didn't live that, right? We're in the year 2022, right? This did not happen. If this happened, I'm going to have to look it up. It happened like many, many, many years ago. And she's carrying that weight as if I had taken something from her, right? That is ancestral trauma, people. It shows up in the way that we feel today towards other people. That has nothing to do with who you are, who you were meant to be, and the other people around you, right? Unless somebody is like physically right now taking away your stuff, that feeling of, oh, that person, because they're from that country, did this to me. That's like a personal thing, right? Everyone has had something against me. So that person doesn't have that just with me, right? That tells a lot, right? If she feels that trigger meeting someone from this country that she feels did all of these terrible things to her country, that story shows up in different parts of her world. So I don't really know much more about her, but I can pretty much guarantee that throughout her life, she has continued to experience things being taken away from her, things not being fair for her. This is how ancestral trauma shows up in your life. When you're grabbing on to that big, heavy bag of rocks, so heavy from your ancestors that they gave it to you, and you take it as yours. Yeah, this is mine. And you love it because your ancestor gave it to you, right? And you're like, I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away. It's mine. And then you're in that energy, which is a very low frequency energy, and you attract more things to your present life that make you feel and experience things such as the ones your ancestors felt and experienced, right? So how do we get rid of this ancestral trauma? Whenever something happens, right? You hear something, okay? And it makes you feel really bad. Like you feel guilty that you're part of that you're the one who created this, right? But you haven't been there. You didn't do anything, right? Then how do you do it? There's two ways that I'm going to talk about. There's obviously many, many ways. I'm going to talk about two different ways, okay? Number one is refuse it, okay? No, that actually is not true for me. And send love to whomever or whatever is giving that information to you. So if you're watching the news and you're watching something that's triggering you about that, and you feel like, oh yeah, like that's pretty bad, and you feel kind of weird about it, like, yeah, like, okay, so what's coming in through right now is racial stuff, right? So let's say you're white and you're saying some news about people showing up doing things that are against a different race, and you're feeling guilty just because you're white, right? You haven't done anything. You may have complete love and understanding and many friends and people that you love that are of different races, but because you're white and the news is talking about how these other white people did this to a different race, you are feeling guilty. That is not yours. So the news is telling you this, and part of you, because of what you are and who you are and what you look like, makes you feel less than, scary, embarrassed, right? All of those things, it's not yours. So then you say, okay, wow, I can see that. I can recognize what's happening, that those people are doing this to these people, but that's not me. So I refuse this information that's coming to me to say that I'm part of that. I just refuse it, and I send love. I send love to the whole situation. That's one way. The other way is to recognize, and this is going to be a big one, that everything that happens, that everything that comes into your awareness, you are creating. So you are the creator of this experience. I was the creator of that experience that I had with this lady who was so upset at me because I was from the neighboring country that took her land, her ancestors' land away, right? I created that. And so what we need to do is heal ourselves. You heal the part of yourself. And this is the big Ho'oponopono way of saying it and releasing this energy. If you don't know what Ho'oponopono is, just look it up. It's just the use of 4 sentences when you send love and forgiveness to the parts of you that are feeling that way. So it's not healing the person who's attacking you or who is like saying things to you. It's healing you because part of you feels that whatever they're saying is true, right? So these are the 4 sentences, right? And you can say them in any order. You can say them, in any order. They all work. You don't need to really know exactly what it is that you're healing, but if the situation is there, then you can say these words to yourself. You don't have to say them out loud. You say them to yourself with a lot of feelings. And these are the sentences. So number 1 is, I'm sorry, right? And so you connect with your inner self, with you, and you're like, I'm sorry. And you really feel that energy of you saying sorry to yourself, right? To that part of you that is feeling hurt, to that part of you that feels that you had a part to do with what's happening, because you did in a certain way. I'm not going to go into that. Just trust me on this, okay? The second one is, please forgive me. So I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. And thank you. So those are the 4 sentences for Ho'oponopono. You can look it up anywhere. Like there's like so much information about Ho'oponopono on the internet that you can find out more about it and read about it and learn more about it. You can heal parts of you with it. So that's more the part of taking responsibility of the part of you, the part of your soul that actually is believing that whatever is out there that isn't yours actually is, right? And so if we're getting triggered by it, number 1 is because we're taking on that energy, because we're allowing that energy to come to us. And number 2 is because part of us actually believes that they're right or that it is true. And so number 1 is refuse it, reject it, send love outwards. Number 2 is forgive yourself, forgive and heal yourself. So these are 2 great ways of getting rid of this ancestral trauma. There's like a lot of other ways that you can use it as well. There's like light language, which I'm the light language queen. So if you want a session with that, I can help you with that. There's Akashic Records, when you can go in there and rewrite the story from the past and then bring the new story up to the present. You can go into the future and see what happens in the future and then bring that information down to the present. Like there's like so many ways that you can do it. You can meditate, you can do breath work, you can do so many things, right? But I was talking about those 2 ways that you can really use right now because they're fast and they're easy, right? So something comes to you, no, that's not true for me. You don't have to tell it to the person, just say it to yourself, right? You don't have to begin this confrontation of fighting with the person. You just, hi Aisha, how are you? I hope this is making sense for you. You don't want to start a fight with the person. You want to just kind of like say it to yourself, like, oh, and see that person with love and compassion because of where they're coming from, right? Where are they coming from? Wow, right? Let me send love and compassion, but at the same time, I'm not going to accept or take on that burden that you're carrying onto me. I'm not doing that. So nope, I reject it. I'm going on. I'm moving on. Thank you. Send you love and compassion, love and love and love and love and compassion to you. Say it inside of you as you're sending this energy out. See them in compassion and then walk away. Okay, that's what I actually had to do the other day with that lady because she just kept going on and on and on, telling me like different things on that. And I kept saying, yeah, no, I wasn't aware of that. No, I wasn't aware of that because I wasn't aware of that. Actually, right? The only reason that I am aware of it right now is because she brought it up to my attention. I should Google it. But actually, my guys are saying, there's no point of you Googling it. What's the point, right? You're not in that era. You're not in that energy. Your energy right now is of light and love and to raise the frequency. So that's That's my job right now. That's where I'm putting my energy, is to help everyone rise, everyone heal, and everyone feel the love of the universe, the abundance of the universe. And yeah, okay, so just say no to it. Do not take on the heavy energies that anyone else is trying to give to you. Okay, I hope that this helped you. Let me know how it felt for you. Let me know if you felt any clearing, because what my guys are saying is that the frequency of my voice and telling this story is really helping clear your ancestral trauma. So listen to this again if you're like, oh really, what happened? Like feel into what came up for you when I was talking about this, and then feel how it went away, right? How did it dissipate? Did it feel better for you? All right. Okay guys, I love you so much, and I will be coming back on Tuesday morning probably to do live card readings. Okay, love you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.